What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, as you can see, I have finally picked up wave 1 of the G.I. Joe classified figures. So let's open them up, have a little fun. Alright, so we're going to start with number 1, Roadblock. Here's what it looks like on the front. You can see pretty much everything that it comes with. This railgun looking thing here. He does have this knife and some kind of a cartridge for the railgun. It's not really a magazine since it doesn't shoot bullets. But here you got a glance at the side art. Looks great. Got Roadblock taking on some ninjas. Here is the back. You have some words and stuff here, but the back art is pretty awesome. And then there's the side, which pretty much this all takes the place of the old file cards that G.I. Joes used to come with. If you want to know more about this, just head on over to the website. I think it's hasbro.gijoe.com or something. I will put the link at the bottom so you can check it out if you want. It kind of tells you, a little bit more like what do they specialize in. So let's crack this open and check them out. Alright, so here we got Roadblock out of the package. You're getting a pretty good look all around them. I really like the details on this figure. He looks a lot like his second appearance in the figures from the 80s with the vest. I like that tattoo that he has on his arm. There's a lot of people that aren't really a big fan of the gold on these new figures, but this one on Roadblock looks pretty good. It's more of a muted, it's not all shiny, and some of the details on this figure is pretty cool, like how they use a lot of the colors in the same areas. It's not just one color here and you don't see it again. They utilize it in different areas. So I'm not going to go over the articulation of the figure. A lot of other people have done it and I think they do a better job of it than I do. I'm just going to put them in some poses. Alright, so here we got Roadblock with his weapon. I have him in this pose. I also put the knife in his holster, which is right here. And posing him wasn't too bad. My figure, his right leg is a little loose. It's not that tight, so that's a little annoying. But so far he's able to kind of hold this pose. See what else I can get him into. Alright, so here's another pose that I put Roadblock in. This time he's probably trying to take down Cobra Rattler or Fang or some kind of Cobra trooper that's up in the air, or maybe they're up in a tree or in a mountain, top of the building, whatever. This is more of just kind of a up that he's shooting, and he's holding it pretty well. I like the articulation in these new figures. So on to number 2. And here's most people's favorite ninja, Snake Eyes. He is number 2 in the line, and again, you'll just see the stuff that replaces his file card. Here's the back. It's no different than what was on the back of Roadblock. Actually, all the Wave 1 has the same back. Here's Snake Eyes side art. Really awesome. One thing that is definitely different with this line of G.I. Joes compared to the vintage is that you have different artists who illustrates the character on the front and the side, because you'll notice that some of the other characters, the style is a little bit different. So let's freeze Snake Eyes. So before we get into the figure, and poses with his accessories, I wanted to go over those real quick. So you have his backpack, a little knife, his sword, his scabbard or sheath, whichever you want to call it, with the Arashikage symbol, his bigger or medium-sized laser gun, his smaller laser gun with a suppressor. I guess this laser gun here makes a lot of noise, and I guess you can express that. So let's get into posing Snake Eyes with his accessories, showing off his articulation. Alright, so with the first pose I have for Snake Eyes, he has both of his firearms in his hands, his sword on his back. Just like with pretty much everybody that has reviewed this figure, I can't get his knife, which is right here. I can't get it to fully go in his sheath. I don't know if people heated it up, because some people say the paint in the might have settled in the bottom. I don't know. It's not that big a deal. I prefer it kind of out anyway, because it does hinder some of the more dynamic poses that you can do with his left leg. But let's get him into a different pose. Alright, so here we have Snake Eyes in his fighting stance with his sword and knife, getting ready to take on some Cobra Ninjas or Storm Shadow himself, or any kind of other baddies. Now, this is kind of what we're more used to seeing Snake Eyes using, and this is what he's really proficient with, are bladed weapons. So I really like how you can get these G.I. Joe figures in real dynamic posing. The articulation is just so much better. It's kind of like they took stuff from Star Wars Black Series, Marvel Legends, and even the Power Rangers Lightning Force, combined the better things from those and threw them into this G.I. Joe line. And I can't be happier. But yeah, that's Snake Eyes. He looks freaking awesome. And here we go with number 3 in the classified series, Destro, the arms dealer himself. That's the front of the package. He looks awesome. The cover art wraps around, and then you get the shot of his head. Again, it's a different style than the previous two. Still looks great. Again, the back, the same as the others. Here is his side file stats. You can again check out the website that I have on the link below. But yeah, in wave 1, this is the only Cobra figure that is out. And here's Chrome Dome himself, free from the packaging. It comes with this bigger handgun and this smaller gold firearm, and then a briefcase with I don't know, money, C4, whatever you want it to be. And at the bottom is a type of computer with the Cobra logo right there. And one cool thing about Destro is his collar. When he comes back around, it's in the shape of the Cobra also. Again, this is an homage to a lot of the vintage figures, you know, with some modern updates. So I believe I remember the vintage Destro having, you know, little mini missiles on his right arm gauntlet thing. Yeah, he's still pretty cool. He's a bigger figure than a lot of the other Joes. So I'm going to get him into a different pose. And here we have a different pose for Destro. Maybe he's trying to get to where he can open up his briefcase, I don't know, set off some bombs or set a timer for it. Who knows? But another thing I wanted to show is that you can put his other gun in the holster and it fits just fine. Again, love the articulation of these figures. I kind of wish some of the other brands had a lot of the same articulation. But alright, so on to the next figure, which is Duke. Here is the side art. Again, a different style from the others. You know, I mean, still looks pretty cool. And the same back art from the others. I really like everything that's going on in there. I really do hope they make these Alley Vipers, because I remember the Alley Vipers from the vintage line. They looked awesome. And I am kind of hoping that they do some of these vehicles that they have on around the image. And here's the other side. Duke is number 4 in the line. Here are his stats. So yeah, another homage look to his vintage figure in the 80s with some modern updates. So here we have Duke in this pose. He's holding his blaster rifle in his right arm, right hand actually. His pistol is in its holster, and in his left hand are a type of binoculars, and he could be surveying the field, seeing what's going on. And there's his backpack. I don't have it plugged into his back because it doesn't like to stay in, and I think it's because of that shoulder strap that he has here. It prevents the backpack from plugging all the way in, and it comes out real easily. But overall, I kind of like the Duke figure. Articulation again is basically the same as the others. The color scheme based on his G1 look, with the additional oranges or reddish oranges, and kind of modernized. The detail in these figures are pretty awesome. So I'm gonna get him into a different pose. And here's Duke in another pose. One of the things I do find interesting is when you look at his blaster rifle, it appears to have two different scopes on it. Who knows why they did that? Maybe it's for looks. I can understand if they moved one scope to the side and kept one on the top. That way, one of the scopes could be, for a closer view, the other scope's for a distance view, and, just kind of move the weapon as you need it. But overall, still enjoying these figures, enjoying the articulation, and yeah, there are some nitpicks, and I'll probably do that towards the end. Scarlet, and her side art shows a lot of stuff that she's known for. The back, again, all the same from the previous figures. She is number 5. Here are her stats. So yeah, let's break her open. Okay, and here are the accessories that Scarlet comes with. Her crossbow and some knives. So let's get her posed. Alright, so here we got Scarlet in her first pose. I think it's kind of odd that she has a trigger finger in her right hand. The reason I think that's weird is because the position of the quiver. If her arrows are in this position, she should have the crossbow in her left hand, ready to fire like it is, pulling the arrow out of the quiver with her one arm. It doesn't make sense to, I'm right-handed, I'm going to shoot with my right hand, but I need my other hand to hold the crossbow while I get an arrow and put it in place, and then switch back, put it in my right hand. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So here I'm making Scarlet left-handed. There need to be more left-handed people anyway. I have her knives placed in their sheaths, the 2 on the back and the one in front. That's another thing. If she's holding the crossbow in her right hand and she's trying to fire, this is going to get in the way. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it too much. But again, this version of Scarlet pays an homage to her vintage look with some modern updates. There's a lot of similarities, especially the shuriken on her left gauntlet. But overall, I'm liking the character. I kind of wish the hair was more scarlet color, more of a darker reddish instead of the bright carrot top that they have. And I think it would have been cool if her ponytail was maybe a little articulated. It's something that they could do, just have it swivel one direction or the other. But I'm going to get her pose. Okay, so here we have Scarlet in her last pose. Why do I not have her spinning? Well, stay tuned at the end of the video and you'll find out why. But, you know, I still like the articulation, still like these figures, but I'm going to bring them all out so you can see, you know, a size comparison for them all. Alright, so here we go. Here is wave 1 of all the figures grouped together. Snake Eyes, Duke, Scarlet, and Roadblock captured Destro. And you can kind of get a size comparison where Snake Eyes and Scarlet are the shortest of this group, and then Duke and Destro's a little bit taller than Duke, and Roadblock is the tallest figure of this bunch. And Hasbro could have done a little bit more with some of the details. I'm not going to complain. You know, it's easy to say that, well, you know, these grenades on Snake Eyes should have been painted a little bit more. The canteens on Duke's backpack should have been painted. You know, just there could have been a lot of little gripes about what's going on, and you know how some of the weapons could use a little bit of detail. And I know Hasbro is fully capable of doing it, but I'm happy with the turnout of these figures, and to me that's all that matters. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. If you enjoy the content of this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the G.I. Joe classified line in the comments below. Are you gonna pick them up, or is it a hard pass? For me, it's definitely a pickup. I loved G.I. Joe when I was younger and have enjoyed it ever since. So until the next one, collect what you like, be awesome to one another, and knowing's half the battle.